Hey, this that Eastside Johnny Big Redemption like. Know what I'm talking about? Hold up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah. Yeah. Get out the way, get out my way, yeah. Yeah. You either with me or against me, though.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in week 1.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team that wins.
They go play action here on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Throwing again. Murray. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long.
Set. Green, 39.
Operating from the gun. Murray. He's going to float this one deep right side. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Fielded at the 20. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll set up a throw. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL. But for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the Twin Cities, loves being a Viking, and is a really dependable 3rd down receiver.
They'll set up to throw. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. Oh, he slipped right by him. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Time to roll through the starters defensively for Detroit. Coming into this one ranked number 19 in the NFL against the pass.
And it's really difficult to prepare for this team. This is the #1 overall passing team in the NFL, but it shouldn't be hard to get excited about playing against them. The ultimate test going against that unit.
And that's why you and I are excited to broadcast this game.
Yes, sir.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing in too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
All right, now, look at 56.
From the red zone now, they look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken a 1st quarter lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now 1st quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense, because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt, because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Murray now. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, we keep stats on everything, don't we? This is one that you don't want to have. That's his 2nd drop right here in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, I was going to say only in the 1st quarter. Certainly a ship that he wants to right quickly. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
Yeah, he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Now let's go. Green, 30.
From the gun, Murray. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On the move to his left. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Flush to his right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And incomplete. A disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And now 4th down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
They'll try and throw for it here. Able to power through. Sliding out of the pocket. Eluding the pressure right. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive?
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw it back deep, and that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his second touchdown on the season, and the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Bailey got the extra point. 1 quarter in the books. 14-0 is our score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Lions now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board.
3-19! 3-19!
On first down, Murray. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. That's caught at the 25. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. They give him a gain of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Now they'll run it with Cohen. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, next.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray. And that is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll go on the ground. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Detroit! Detroit!
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. Going deep for Diggs. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. He'll look to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not pay off.
And when you talk about bold, you're saying all caps?
All caps.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
Operating from the gun, Murray. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
On 3rd down. That's Cohen. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Escaping the pressure right. Going deep for Diggs. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead is up to 18 now. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
From the gun, Murray. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. This is Cohen, and that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And wow, the fair catch was signaled for and taken inside the 5-yard line. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over first and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
To throw again. Murray. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. He's at the 40. The 20. 10. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
This is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30.
All right, here we go. 319! 319!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. To throw on second down, Murray. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Third down. That's Cohen. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way we can get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half, of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. They want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And they'll run it here. Into the secondary again. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down.
Set! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On third down, Murray fighting, lost the football, and this belongs to the Vikings.
But that's a down and distance coaches always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's third and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
His throw caught at about the 5. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the Vikings are in for the touchdown.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Extra point try by Bailey. Bailey got the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Again, it's Cohen. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
To throw on 3rd down. Murray. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and There he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside. Probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Oh, now he bowls him over. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Oh, look at that. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And that's a loss of 7 on the 1st down play. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. Open man, there is Patterson, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. It's their quarterback taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that will extend this big lead. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Bailey now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They run. This is Cohen. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
12 yards on the turn that time, and out will come the offense as they take over. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Back to throw. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Randy Gregory able to get him for a loss of about 3. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
They're going to look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
So out now come the Lions. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Emerson Griffin able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Lions on 3rd down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Operating from the gun. Murray. And he's going to go down again. And there it is, sack number 201. He has broken Bruce Smith's all-time record.
For a lot of us, we wondered if anyone would get to that record. But the way teams are throwing the ball around, more opportunities for these sack artists to accumulate numbers. And we've seen the biggest number of all eclipsed today.
Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's pulled in at the 32. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their 2nd meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks. Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away.
Flex round!
They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll set up the throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And the play clock becoming an issue, so Mike Zimmer's forced to call a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again. Let's make this one simple. What a catch. Especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, some strong running. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
They go play action here on 1st down. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. So they are going to call on Dan Bailey here. His career long is 56 yards done in Seattle. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll have another home date next week as the Miami Dolphins come to town. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.